It was a normal day when the man went out to feed the street cats in his area. This kind act had become part of his daily routine, but today would be different from all other days. As he put down food for the hungry cats, something caught his eye that made him stop and watch. A mother cat was running toward him very fast, carrying a small kitten in her mouth. She moved with great urgency, her eyes wide and full of worry. At first, the man felt happy, thinking she wanted to show him her baby. It seemed like a special moment, the mother cat trusting him enough to bring her little one close. The mother cat gently placed her kitten on the ground near the man's feet. She started to clean her baby with careful licks, as if saying, "Look at my beautiful kitten." The man smiled, feeling touched that this street cat trusted him so much. But as he watched more closely, he began to worry. The kitten wasn't moving at all during the groom. There were no small movements, no tiny sound, none of the normal signs of life you would expect from a young kitten. Something was wrong. Carefully, the man reached down to check the little kitten. When his fingers touched the kitten's fur, he felt a deep sadness wash over him. The kitten's body was cold, much too cold. What had started as a heartwarming moment was quickly becoming heartbreaking. In that moment, the man understood why the mother cat had come to him with such speed. She hadn't just wanted to show off her baby. She had been desperately seeking help from the only human she trusted. The hurry in her movements, the way she put the kitten right in front of him, it wasn't just a proud mother showing her baby. It was a cry for help. After these first efforts, the man knew the kitten needed a doctor's help quickly. He arranged for the kitten to be taken to the nearest animal clinic, silently promising the worried mother cat that he would do everything he could to help her baby. Once the first kitten was on its way to get proper medical care, the man noticed the mother cat had disappeared. Worried about where she had gone, he decided to follow her path. What he found next amazed him. The mother cat was coming back, and in her mouth was another kitten. She had gone to get her other babies one by one, trusting the man enough to bring her whole family to him for safety and care. Each time, she would gently put a kitten near the man before rushing off again. This continued until all her kittens were gathered, an amazing show of the mother's trust and smarts. The man quickly gave food and water to the tired mother, who had used so much energy bringing all her babies to safety. As she ate to get her strength back, the man was amazed at the incredible love this street cat showed for her kittens. Even in hard times, her motherly drive to protect and save her babies had guided everything she did. While caring for this first cat family, someone came up to the man with bad news. There was another mother cat nearby whose kitten was lying still on the ground. Without hesitation, the man went to look. He found another worried cat mother in a similar situation, her kitten not moving. With gentle hands and a heavy heart, the man gathered both mother cats and all their kittens. His small home would have to be a temporary shelter for these street cats in need. Though he hadn't planned this, he couldn't ignore their need, especially after seeing how hard the first mother cat had tried to get his help. Meanwhile, at the animal clinic, the first kitten was getting important care. The vet checked the tiny patient carefully, giving fluids, warmth, and medicine as needed. Though the kitten was in bad shape after being found cold and not moving, the quick action taken by the man had given it a chance to live. Later that day, the man's friend who had taken the kitten to the clinic came back to his house with the little patient. Following the vet's instructions for ongoing care, they put the kitten close to its mother, knowing that a mother's warmth and care would be very important for recovery. The reunion between mother and baby was touching. She immediately began cleaning her kitten, perhaps sensing how fragile her little one was. The man's home, now changed into a cat shelter, became a place of healing and hope. He set up comfortable resting areas with soft blankets, making sure the mothers and their kittens had quiet places to recover. With advice from the vet, he prepared special food with extra nutrients to help the nursing mothers make healthy milk for their babies. The man also created a proper feeding area for the adult cats, making sure they always had fresh water and good food to keep up their strength. Nursing mother cats need extra food to make milk for their growing kittens, and he made sure they got plenty of protein-rich food to support this demanding physical job. As days passed, most of the kittens began showing signs of getting better. Their tiny bodies grew stronger, their meows louder, and their movements more coordinated. The kitten that had first been found cold and still made slow but steady progress under the watchful eyes of both its mother and the man. The small home became filled with the sounds of purring, tiny meows, and the soft patting of paws. What had started as simply feeding street cats had grown into a full rescue operation. Though unplanned, the man took on his new role with dedication and kindness. As the kittens grew stronger and more playful, the man began thinking about their future. Street cats often face harsh conditions, shorter lives, and many dangers. He wanted something better for these families he had grown to care for deeply. After careful thought, he decided to make a lasting change in their lives. Instead of returning them to the streets once they recovered, the man prepared his home to become their permanent place to live. He made the living spaces safe for cats, put up proper climbing structures, and created cozy sleeping areas throughout the house. What had been a temporary shelter would now be their forever home. The man's daily life changed greatly with his new cat family members. Mornings began with feeding routines and quick health checks for everyone. Throughout the day, he would find cats napping in sunny spots, playing with toys, or following him around the house. Evenings often featured playful kittens racing around with endless energy before curling up for nighttime rest. While certainly challenging at times, the man found deep joy in watching these once vulnerable animals do well under his care. The trust shown by that first mother cat, bringing her cold kitten to him in a desperate plea for help, had started a chain of events that changed multiple lives, including his own. This rescue story reminds us of several important lessons. First, it shows the amazing intelligence and parental love of cats, often underestimated by those who don't know these complex animals well. The mother cat's ability to find someone who could help and her determination to bring all her babies to safety shows how smart and caring cats can be. Second, it highlights the critical importance of spay and neuter programs for street cats. If these mothers had been spayed through a community cat program, they would not have faced the challenges of raising kittens in dangerous street conditions. Community awareness and support for such programs can prevent countless cases of suffering among homeless cats and their kittens. Third, the story shows the vital role of everyday kindness. The man was not a professional animal rescuer or a wealthy person, just an ordinary person who chose to help when he saw animals in need. His willingness to extend himself to learn how to care for them and to open his home made all the difference for these vulnerable lives. For those inspired by such stories, there are many ways to help street animals in communities everywhere. Supporting local animal welfare groups, volunteering time at shelters, donating supplies, or even simply putting out fresh water for neighborhood strays can make meaningful differences. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, matters in the lives of animals who have no one else to help them. The man continues his daily routine of caring for his adopted cat family, their presence bringing warmth and purpose to his life. And somewhere in his memory remains the image of that first mother cat racing toward him with her cold kitten, a moment of desperate trust that changed everything. It stands as a powerful reminder of the deep connections possible between humans and animals when compassion bridges the gap between different worlds. What started as a simple act of feeding hungry cats turned into something much more meaningful. Through one man's willingness to help, several lives were saved and forever changed. The mother cats now have safe, warm places to raise their kittens, and the kittens themselves will grow up knowing only kindness from humans. This story teaches us that sometimes the smallest actions can have the biggest impact. The man didn't set out to rescue multiple cat families that day. He was simply feeding street cats as usual. But when presented with a desperate mother's plea for help, he chose to respond with compassion and care. That choice set in motion a chain of events that ultimately saved many lives. It also reminds us that animals are much more intelligent and emotionally complex than we often give them credit for. The mother cat's decision to bring her cold kitten to the man showed remarkable problem-solving abilities and trust. Her return trips to bring each of her remaining kittens demonstrated planning and foresight that many might not expect from a street cat. For anyone who has ever helped an animal in need, this story will feel familiar. It captures the special bond that can form between humans and animals during moments of rescue and care. That bond is built on trust, compassion, and mutual respect, qualities that transcend the barriers between species. In communities around the world, there are countless street cats and other animals in need of help. Many never find their way to a kind person who will take them in. This makes the work of animal welfare organizations, community cat programs, and individual rescuers all the more important. Through their efforts, more animals like this mother cat and her kittens can find safety, care, and loving homes. The man in our story didn't have special training or resources, just a willingness to help and learn. His example shows that anyone can make a difference in the lives of animals in need. Sometimes all it takes is being present, paying attention, and responding with kindness when an animal reaches out for help.